Welcome back, true crime fans. If you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit subscribe to stay updated on all things true crime. Today's episode explores the chilling tale of Ronnie Lee Gardner, a man who lived a life of crime and met an end as dramatic as his deeds. Please note, the content is intense and viewer discretion is advised. Born in January 1961, Ronnie Lee Gardner's journey into a life of crime started early. He faced a tough upbringing with physical and emotional abuse, and fell into a pattern of criminal behavior from his youth. But it was his actions in 1985 that led him to death row. Gardner was at a courthouse facing a murder charge when he attempted an audacious escape. He fatally shot attorney Michael Bertle and courthouse bailiff Nick Kirk, which eventually led to his conviction and death sentence. Gardner's story doesn't end with his sentencing, however. It's his chosen method of execution that has immortalized his name in the annals of crime history. In a chilling throwback to a bygone era, Gardner chose to be executed by firing squad, a method which was, and remains, controversial. Despite pleas for clemency and a stay of execution, Gardner's end came on June 18, 2010. He was the last person to be executed by firing squad in Utah. Ronnie Lee Gardner's story is a chilling tale of crime and punishment. It's a stark reminder of the path some tread, and the severe consequences they can face. Billy Bailey was born on January 1947 in Smyrna, Delaware, into an environment that can only be described as troubled. His mother died when he was a young boy, and his father was an alcoholic. He and his siblings were put into an orphanage after allegations of neglect. Bailey's teenage years were marked by a series of offenses, leading him in and out of juvenile detention. But it was the events of the evening of September 22, 1979 that would forever seal his fate. Bailey was convicted for the murder of an elderly couple, Gilbert and Clara Lamberton, in their Delaware home. The crime was gruesome and stirred up a wave of fear and outrage in the community. Despite appeals and legal efforts, Billy Bailey was sentenced to death. But it wasn't just his crime that gained national attention. It was the method of his execution that caused a stir. You see, when sentenced, Billy Bailey chose hanging over lethal injection, a choice permitted in Delaware at the time. When his execution was carried out on January 25, 1996, he became the third person in the United States to be hanged after the resumption of capital punishment in 1976. Billy Bailey's case stands as a chilling reminder of the severity of capital punishment and its stark realities in the American justice system. His life, marred by crime and ending in a manner reminiscent of a more brutal era, resonates as a stark tale in the annals of true crime. Walter Legrand was born in Germany in 1965. Walter and his brother Carl, who was older by 1 year, were born to a German mother and an African-American father serving in the US military. The family moved to the United States when the boys were still very young, but their parents soon separated. The brothers had a troubled upbringing. They bounced between their father, foster homes, and their mother, who struggled with mental health issues. This instability seemed to set the stage for the path the brothers would later tread. Their notorious crime occurred in 1982, when Walter and Carl Legrand were just 17 and 18. During a botched bank robbery in Marana, Arizona, the brothers took the bank manager, Kenneth Hartsock, hostage. Hartsock was tragically killed during the incident. The case was shocking. Both brothers were quickly apprehended and subsequently found guilty of first-degree murder. They were sentenced to death. But it was the manner of Walter's execution that would bring international attention to his case. Despite lethal injection being the primary method of execution in Arizona at the time, the gas chamber was chosen for Walter. This decision stirred international controversy and drew pleas for mercy from across the globe, including the brothers' birth country, Germany. However, all appeals and pleas were unsuccessful. On March 3, 1999, Walter Legrand was executed in the gas chamber, marking one of the last gas chamber executions in the United States. The case of Walter Legrand serves as a stark tale about crime and punishment, igniting discussions about the death penalty, its methods, and the international law surrounding it. Scott Allen Hayne was born in 1974 in Oklahoma. Details about his early life aren't very well documented. His name gained notoriety due to the grisly crime he committed at the age of just 17. In October of 1987, Haines and an accomplice, Robert Lambert, abducted two people, Michael Houghton and Laura Lee Sanders, following a series of thefts and burglaries. The victims were locked in the trunk of their car, which was then set on fire, leading to their horrifying demise. Both Haines and Lambert were arrested, tried, and found guilty of first-degree murder. The severity of the crime led the courts to hand down the most severe sentence possible: death. But Haines' case garnered attention for more than just the violent nature of his crime. His age at the time of the offense, just 17 years old, made his death sentence controversial. His case sparked debates about the morality and legality of executing someone for a crime committed as a minor. Despite numerous appeals, including intervention attempts from international human rights organizations, his sentence was carried out. On April 3, 2003, Scott Allen Haines was executed by lethal injection, becoming one of the last individuals in the United States to be executed for a crime committed as a minor. Haines' case serves as a stark reminder of the intense debates surrounding the death penalty, particularly when it involves crimes committed by individuals under the age of 18. That wraps up this episode. If you found this deep dive into these cases compelling, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories from the darker side of history. Until next time.